How's it going, everybody? Ed Ricker here, aka Spider-Man. Want to make a video talking about acoustic panels and how I put mine up on the wall, as you can see right here. The inspiration for this video came from my friend Andrew Fetch, my friend from college. What the? He asked how I do it without damaging my walls, and that's a pretty big concern. You could permanently affix these to walls very easily, I suppose, but what's a way that you can put these up and peel off easily in a year's time when your lease runs out, like mine keeps seeming to happen? Now, first of all, why do I use acoustic paneling? Basically, I want to reduce a lot of the echoiness, the reverberation that you hear with my voice or musical instruments in a room that otherwise would just have bare walls and a bare floor. So in addition to acoustic paneling like this, you also have maybe carpet on the floor. There are a lot of different ways to treat a room for sound, a lot of measurements and a lot of angles that you can take into consideration. But for something like this, which is more of a living space, I basically just want to make sure that a lot of these big spaces on the walls have something on them to help with the bouncing of the sound from wall to wall. I also use what they call bass traps in the corners of the room because low frequencies tend to congregate in that area. They kind of all focus into corners of rooms, and so having bass traps, which is a very, very thick, heavy foam, is going to help treat the sound with the low end a little bit more as well. So here's what I use. This is straight from Amazon. These are, if I order them correctly, 8 12 by 12 panels. They come in sets of these 4 that then spread apart. Ta-da! So this becomes 2 pieces, and so I have 8. So what I'm looking for with this particular order is to create 2 24-inch by 24-inch squares that I can put on the wall in the next room. You could also order 24 by 24 panels. I like the flexibility of being able to style this myself. Maybe I don't want to create a square. Maybe sometime down the road I want to create more of a stair-stepping thing like this, or who knows. I just want to have the flexibility. Also, sometimes these tend to be cheaper if you buy them 12 by 12. So I'm going to tell you guys how I mount these acoustic foam panels on my wall using just super glue, these little stickies from Walmart or any crafts or office supply store or whatever, and some discs that you don't use anymore. CDs, DVDs, whatever. Also, get a few heavy things like books. You're gonna need those too. Okay, first off, find a place to work that is not going to be a place you're gonna have to walk through for the next couple hours. So we'll peel these pieces apart. We're gonna flip the entire thing. Now that you have your square, let's get out our discs. So these can be blank discs, these can be damaged discs, these can be discs you just don't care about. We're gonna put one in the center. Side, 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 side. So these DVDs are bridging the gap, and then the one in the center is bridging the seam between all 4, just like so. If we don't get this process perfect, we want to make sure that if we do see part of the DVD, it's not going to be the shiny part. It's going to be much less obvious if we have something white. If you have some dark DVDs, that might be even better. Once we have the pattern laid out, we're going to open up our super glue, pick up the DVD, flip it over so that we have the other side, not the shiny side, but the other side, and just squirt some super glue on the top. And then face down again. This is where you want to make sure that you're very careful to get that seam exactly in the center. And we're going to pick our first book. Mass Media Law. Riveting. That's from college. There we go. Putting it right on there, scooting them back in just in case they moved it all. Now we can go on to the next. This is my sister's novella. I highly recommend it. In fact, I think she has, this is her second novella. This is the first one. She's been writing a lot, so I definitely recommend you guys checking these out. All right. It's at this point in time that I would also say don't use a ton of super glue. You don't want to ruin your books by putting them on top of the DVDs. All right, we have books on every one of the 5 DVDs. Now we're gonna let this sit. It's nighttime. I'm just gonna let it sit overnight, and I'll pick this up tomorrow morning. We'll see you there. Next day. All right, so we've had a couple of these sitting on the ground, just waiting to be put up on the wall. Now we're gonna take our little stickies here
and I'm going to take out 5 and break them apart. I'm going to take the backing off each one, stick it on there. Now at this point we have all the stickies onto each DVD, but we do not have the other side of the sticky taken off yet.
Alright, here's my wall. It's blank. It's also got some scuff marks from the previous tenants, so I think having a couple of these panels up here is really going to be beneficial and also going to help a little bit with the acoustics of this room. Now is the time to take off the other side of the sticky. Take that paper off so that we have the sticky portion exposed. Alright, they're all off. Now everything is sticky. And I'm going to put it up here. Now I'm not measuring, I don't care that much, but I am going to make sure that they're level as much as I can. Just push it on all 5 of the areas where there's a sticky. Alright, and this one's going to be slightly lower and maybe 2 inches to the right. There we go. Bam! Now, it's at this point where I'm seeing, okay, maybe I do want it to scoot that way just a little bit. That's the beauty about how easily these things are moved. You just take the 4 edges, pop them off, twist the middle off, and then scoot over just a hair. Now, if you want to get the rulers out and the measuring tapes and the bubble level, you definitely could. Close enough. So, that is how I put up my acoustic foam in my rooms. I might do a little more fine adjustment, but this is basically how I just get it out of the wall in a way that's temporary enough that it can be popped off without damaging the wall, but still permanent enough so that you're not going to have these falling off the wall in a week. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you're interested in more information about these things, go to my Amazon links down below in the video description. You can see purchase links to these. I get all my acoustic foam from Amazon. They got a bunch of different types and more expensive types too, some with their own mounting options as well. These didn't come with mounting options, so that's what this video was all about. Take care, everybody, and happy YouTubing.